It's been an interesting year so far for churches in Texas.
Local megachurch dealing with another shakeup. 8 pastors have either been fired or stepped down from their positions.
Protesters gathered outside of Gateway Church calling for accountability.
The elders of this church knew about it.
Amy Smith has written about each one.
I think we're just publicly seeing the tip of the iceberg.
Dee is the editor of the Workgroup Watch.
I've been writing 15 years, and I have been always writing about abuse in churches.
Oh, no, it's okay. Come on, it's okay. Come on, everybody's gone. I used to have a nightmare where I would wake up and that pedophile, that pastor, would show up at my church, and I would try to open my mouth to tell somebody, you know, like warning that guy is not safe, but no sound would come out. That happened about once a year up until 2011 when I started speaking out. And I've never had that nightmare since.
This is a cease and desist letter. I have gotten a bunch of these in my 15 years. This is what I have to deal with when we go after a pastor. I've probably gotten about 15 or 20 of these.
Amy Smith and Dee Parsons live 1,200 miles apart. They're both Christian, they both have blogs, and they're both part of an informal network of women determined to expose sexual abuse within churches.
Hey, could you just kind of tell me which story that you want me to do the TikTok video about?
In this instance, this man eventually became a youth pastor in her father's church. That pastor in town.
They even have a name for themselves.
Our little group is known as the Daughters of Stan. It happened when a man wrote me. He was trying to insult us. He wanted to write Daughters of Satan, but he said Daughters of Stan. This began a standing joke.
Okay, you take care. Bye-bye.
Dee and Amy banded together in 2024 in a case involving Texas pastor Robert Morris, head of one of the nation's biggest megachurches.
I don't know if your church gives you a standing ovation every week, but it's just normal here.
What is going on in North Texas with these churches and these pastors that have been recently exposed? Almost all of them have involved some type of sexual immorality. Some have been exposed for allegations of child sexual abuse. Of course, Robert Morris, Gateway being probably, the largest of those.
12 and under.
Robert Morris was one of the most influential pastors in America, leading a church of tens of thousands, broadcasting to millions, and even serving as a spiritual advisor to President Donald Trump.
I knew that Amy lived near the Gateway Church. And so I called her. I said, I'm going to write a story I think may get some attention. Can you go down to Gateway, take some pictures? And not only did she do that, but she decided to make a TikTok video.
A survivor has come forward to tell her story of abuse that she endured as a child.
The founding pastor of Gateway Church, Robert Morris, resigned.
Pastor Robert Morris has admitted to moral failings.
Morris has pleaded not guilty to all of the charges against him.
I have got this thing inside me that says I can't let go when all these folks are asking for help. Jesus once said that there are wolves that are going to be there. They're going to appear like sheep. And as long as I'm able, I'm going to keep going. I'll probably die in front of my computer someday. Getting ready to do the next story, but I'm going to continue.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.